Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of Where I Went Wrong. And in this edition of Where I Went Wrong, I'll be doing Where I Went Wrong, UFC Vegas 49, or UFC Fight Night, Makhachev versus Green. So I only had 3 wrong. I think it was 8 and 3 or something, like, yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah, 8 and 3. The 3 that were wrong were, let me see. Yeah, Serkinov got submitted by Turman. Kim got robbed by, what is that? Yeah, Gian Kim got robbed by Priscilla Capoeira. I don't care what nobody else says. Well, I feel like most people with good sense have said that she got robbed. But, it's MMA. You don't make it clear enough. It's still can happen. But at the end of the day, it was a robbery. Ain't no ifs and buts. That was a robbery. It was not that close that you get outstruck by that much. It's not no ifs and no buts. Yeah, that was a robbery. I don't care what nobody says. But another one was Rodriguez versus Petrosian. But one little tidbit before I get into, everything else is, so recently, well, not even recent, this person always, for whatever reason, trying to discredit me or whatever the case may be, but not gonna get them much attention. But hey, they're getting mentioned some way, not directly, but some way. But forget what they usually do. Who cares? Like, I really don't care. Like, heck all you want. That's your freedom. Have fun. You tune in all the time to watch. So, like, no matter what you do, I'm winning because you giving me views. So your opinion is whether you're actually a supporter or you a hater or you have this or that, you're tuning in. So I don't know, I'm not gonna say you're welcome, but thank you. You can say you're welcome. So, but thank you, and you're welcome to tune in as much as you want, say all you want, but don't lie. That's the dumbest thing you can do. If it was a case of lying, like, you just heard something wrong or you had a dream you thought you saw something, maybe that's cool. But no matter what it may be, get your facts straight before you come talking stupid in the comments. And just get your facts straight. That's all. Don't be saying, "Oh, he made this pick and did this stuff." Because I'm the first person. If I'd make a pick change or revision, I will literally say at the beginning of the video, like, "Oh, I was leaning to this guy," and then I made a revision. I think so far since starting the quick pick series, and I've been doing predicting way longer than the quick pick series. The quick picks just blow me up. And I know most people have come from the quick picks, but I was doing this for, like, I don't know, probably like 17, 2018 or something. That's not even that long in, retrospect, but as far as on YouTube, but whatever the case may be. But yeah, the quick pick starting with like 2020, yeah, 2020, late 2020, has continued since then. But anyway, yeah, I've been doing quick picks for like since 2020, and I think I only revived like 2 or 3 times. And I think we're like 1-1 on revisions. One time I changed my pick, and then the guy originally picked one. The other time I picked, and then the guy, it was just a dumb pick at the time, and a lot of people called me out on that pick, and I was like, then I had to think about it a second time, and then I changed that, and I let everybody know that I changed that pick. Or I let some people know, I'm iffy about this pick, I might change it, but I didn't change the other pick. I stuck with my pick and it ended up being wrong. But yeah, so I let people know every single time I changed my pick. And I'm not a person that's so scared of, like, I'm not trying to boast no 80, 90% unrealistic percentage. So I'm not gonna be one ducking and hiding my picks. If I say dumb tweet, even, like, that's just my character. If I do something dumb, stupid, or something that is coming that just doesn't, over time or whatever the case may be, don't add up. Don't add up, or this looks bad in hindsight or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna own up to it. I'm not gonna be ducking and dodging nothing. So don't say no dumb stuff like, "Oh, I changed the pick and try to do this, try to make myself look better." Especially a pick that wasn't even no big pick, and no pick regardless, but especially not that pick. Like, especially if I'm gonna do something that dumb and go out of character and look and be all sloppy and be all bummy or do something stupid like that, it's gonna be something for major. Matter of fact, it's not gonna be nothing at all. But best believe. Anyway, I'm just going very hypothetical. It wouldn't happen, but I'm just gonna own up to it regardless. And the fact that I'm making a Where I Went Wrong series is like I'm winning regardless. Like I'm getting video content from losses. So I'm turning losses into wins in a way. So there's no, even then, outside of that, like, I don't know. All I'm trying to say, don't come here saying stupid stuff like I did this, I did that, or that. Like, you could say, make your little opinions about my picking style or whatever it may be, or my patterns for picking or what it may be, but don't say, "Oh, he did this and did that," and try and, lie in the comment section for what reason? What are you trying to gain? Like I say, you're going beyond a hater, going into like a degenerate dick sucker. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're doing too much. That other stuff, like, annoying, but hey, it's your opinion. There's some validity to it, whatever it may be. There's some validity, but who cares? You're here, you're tuning in, obviously, for a reason. But The other stuff, like, don't go lying. That's like when you really start crossing the line. You could do all that knowing stuff you want the other time, but you're gonna lie on somebody. That's when you start getting removed. That's when you get removed. You're gonna lie, you get removed. If it was something like I actually did, I would own up to it. But if it's like something like you just lying for what's your intended purpose of lying? And you like, well, this is very, I don't know, just lame. And this, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right word to say, but it's very lame. Don't do that stuff. I'm all for trolls and stuff. Have your fun. You know, it's a free country, and United these other countries getting whipped and beat on and taken out back and murdered for your opinions. So have fun, live your free life, live your free life in the comments and do whatever you want to do. 100 comments could be dissing me or whatever case may be in the comment section, but don't go lying. That's when it gets cross line. I don't care about. I let you know. Let me another message. These people that feel like I'll be deleting their comments, I don't delete your comments. It's the fact that you would throw cuss words in there, and this is different from the guy. That guy don't cuss, but he's still annoying. But the people that do be like saying, "Oh, this and that," why you delete? I don't delete comments. I don't. Only time comments get deleted is because you don't cuss words in there. I think a couple of y'all do an N-bomb in there, but other than that, I don't be deleting. I don't like that. Matter of fact, I'm not even saying that. I'm using the wrong words. I don't delete comments. YouTube has guidelines, and they remove comments. They'll let me know the comment has been removed, and I can't do nothing about it. Or some points, it would like with the stuff I can give the check mark, and I will give the check mark and let it on. But some stuff when you go over the line or it's a consistent pattern, then YouTube don't even give me the option to let it get posted. So it's not me. It's not me. But yeah, just don't go lying. But as far as the pics, so the actual video and not this other stuff, this sidebar conversation, and that's as much attention I'm gonna give them. Like any further lies without checking your facts, getting removed next time. Like I'm not for lies. Trolling, have your fun. Knowing, have your fun. But lying, don't lie on me. You will get removed. But I ain't for all that lying. You could chuckle. Y'all can leave your comments. Oh, wrong, another wrong pick, another wrong pick. Get a card that's like you go 10-3, or even you go like 60%, 50% on the card. This might be like on every comment, every video saying, every video, like I say, they'll go to every wrong video and say wrong, wrong, wrong. But then when it's the right pick, they won't say nothing. Whatever the case may be, y'all can do all that. Some people can do annoying stuff like that, and like I said, I would let that. I'm like, I won't care. I'm like, have your fun, but don't lie. That's all I'm saying. Like it's a lot of annoying stuff people would do, but lying, that's just we just not gonna have that. But yeah, so the 3 wrong picks I got were, let me see where I first went wrong on this card. I was off the little good look streak, and then the first wrong pick was Armin Petrosian versus Gregory Rodriguez. And this is a pick where I really can't look back and say, oh, it's so much to really learn from this. I mean, like going in, like what I would change, because it was a close fight on paper and close in actual fight. I thought Rodriguez, you know, with the success he had over the Iron Turtle, I forget his name right now, so I'm gonna call him the Iron Turtle by his nickname, who had, you know, looked like some pretty decent wrestling and had been working on it, had good success against Nchukwi and what's his name, the other fighter, the other guy's a very low tier fighter who has 0 wrestling. But anyway, his wrestling looked pretty good. His gym had like that, it looked like their wrestling had been improving pretty well at that gym. So his wrestling looked pretty good, and Gregory Rodriguez was able to have such success wrestling him and grappling him. Did start to fade, which I saw was pretty bad. When he got tired, his defense went back to his default, and he was almost close to getting knocked out. But he pulled that knockout victory from the jaws of defeat, and ended up knocking out the Iron Turtle, who, you know, had a reputable iron, you know, solid chin on him. But yeah, he was there to take him down, control him, get position on pretty easily. And Petrosian was not necessarily a guy that had great grappling or decent grappling. So I thought Rodriguez would be able to have more success. He almost got that Sulov stretch, but anyway, I thought he would be. I sound like I'm the WWB frog or the WB frog, but whatever the case may be, I thought he would be able to have more success. Close fight, lean to the more well-rounded guy, and the more well-rounded guy is Rodriguez. No ifs and no buts. I thought Petrosian was the better striker. I knew that going in, but Rodriguez seemed like the better overall fighter. I thought it was pretty clear going in, but Petrosian clearly worked on his wrestling defense, worked on his grappling a little bit in his fight, and still had the resolve and strength to, you know, get out of those situations that he was put in. And ultimately was able to outstrike Rodriguez. Still a competitive fight, close fight. Stats might not reflect that, but a very close fight and some good moments from Rodriguez. But nonetheless, the right man won, Petrosian, I feel. But just like going forward, like I can't look at this pick and say, oh, I was necessarily wrong in my prediction. Stuff happens. In most cases, you're gonna lead to more round. A fight that close, a guy that's clearly more rounded, and the guy that has an area where he clearly has not worked on. But fighters sometimes they develop, but most cases they don't. A lot of times they keep the same weaknesses in their whole career, unless I don't know, unless they truly gonna be somebody in the sport, like really going to challenge for titles or being that picture. But yeah, Petrosian made the adjustments, and also I thought he didn't, he was able to keep the fight standing longer, he would be able to knock Rodriguez out if that was his path to victory. I thought that was his path to victory, but went to decision. Rodriguez was able to wear the shots and was able to strike for a large portion of that fight with a not a world class striker, but a pretty solid striker. So Rodriguez, I guess, showed some improvements in his striking in a loss. Grappling didn't flow didn't fall through like I thought it would, or Rodriguez thought it would, and Petrosian clearly did some work, and it paid out. He got his hand raised, but really, looking hindsight, looking pre-sight, I guess I can't really say that was a bad pick or bad analytics or bad intel. So it's going forward, I would pick, in a similar situation, I would pick the same fighter, and in most cases, that fighter will win. I feel, and I feel like statistically that will support my judgment on that. But good fight nonetheless, but did not go my way. Good for Petrosian, but I feel like Rodriguez still game and show some improvements. Maybe need to work on that cardio a little bit more and work on some fundamental wrestling some more. Just get back to the basics. And then, like I said, chain that with jiu-jitsu. Maybe go position over submission a little bit more. But hey, it wasn't a bad attempt there. But anywho, Petrosian got his hand raised. Both men look good. Petrosian get the win, but I'm still high on both men coming out of this fight. Now to our next fight that I got wrong was Capoeira versus Kim, and I feel like it was Kim fight. Kim, I think, significant strikes almost, it wasn't 2-1, but it was definitely large margin. She almost outstruck her by 100 strikes. That's a crazy amount of significant strikes to be outstruck by. And all Capoeira did was come in swinging big shots and getting tagged up, getting bust up. She really do nothing. It's not like she landed with such power that she was rocking Kim or she was doing this, doing that. Kim landed the harder shots. She landed more shots. And Capoeira was just a walking forward zombie punching bag. That's not indicative of winning anything. But hey, if you think that's winning something or think that's so significant, she ain't land nothing that heavy. Kim landed the harder shots and the better shots and the more shots. Should have clearly went to Kim. But I don't know what the judges were smoking, but they were smoking at night and Kim got robbed. So nothing I can say. I picked the right fighter. I really didn't think it was going to be that easy of a decision, but the judges I clearly couldn't make an easy decision. That's why I feel like hire me to be a judge, because these judges are horrendous. Pay me twice or whatever they making. Put me on the judging board or the council or whatever it may be, the commission. Fire some of these old heads, because they clearly ain't doing the job. They clearly don't know what they're watching. They clearly got Alzheimer's or something. But yeah, take them off, because these judges are straight trash. Or maybe they got betting on Capoeira, or maybe they know somebody betting on Capoeira and they just let's screw this up. If Capoeira makes a decision, we're gonna rob Kim no matter what it may be. But yeah, really nothing to look back at there. Nothing at all. Capoeira gonna get washed in her next fight by just about anybody she fight. Kim might be able to pull out some victories in her next fight, because she's probably gonna go backwards. Capoeira gonna get rushed ahead, and the division ain't that deep, so she get rushed ahead. Then she already with somebody that's gonna walk right over her. Grappling ain't really improved. Striking ain't nothing to write home about. She tough. We already knew she was tough, but put her in there with a grappler that's gonna put her on the ground, she gonna get dominated once again. Put her in there with any decent striker, she's gonna get outlanded and just picked apart and just be a zombie again, zombie punching bag, and then outstruck to a decision. I don't think anyone really gonna stop her, at least at this level, or around this level. But they rush her head far enough, she will get stopped. But yeah, nothing really to write home about at all. Wasn't Thurman versus Misha Cirkunov. With this one, let me see. With this one, really not a whole lot to say about this one either. Pre-sight, I'm making up words right now, but pre-sight, basically saying before the fight, lead into it, and even hindsight, what is it really to look at? Wasn't Thurman had not been showing any improvements. He'd been getting knocked out all these times. He only got 2 wins, and both of them decisions. So he had not been proven. Was never close to a submission in the UFC. Was never close to a knockout in the UFC. Never close to a finish in the UFC. All his wins were decisions, and they were relatively close and competitive. And he kind of competitively evenly grappled with Carl Roberson. So I don't know, his grappling had not been looking super stellar or anything in the UFC. He had not been looking stellar. Clearly not a finisher, but he got a finish now. But yeah, it's like it wasn't really a whole lot. He was much younger, still 25 and still grown, but it's like, he's young, you weren't seeing those improvements. And even in this fight, it was like he was on his way to lose a decision potentially, but then was able to find that armbar, time it perfectly, explode on it, and seal it. Ain't gonna call it luck. He clearly saw it, clearly set it up, got it. It is what it is, but pre-sight, like there was nothing giving that. And I heard like UFC bro picks or something saying on the tweet, I knew it. He's a quitter. He's a quitter. He got armbar. Getting put in armbar and caught into a deep submission is not quitting. It's tap or snap. So I don't know about his quitting. And Serkinov had never been a quitter, so I don't know. But hey, you cashed in, you made your money. Not a diss or anything to UFC bro picks, but I just saw him on Twitter. Somebody retweeted him or he was on my timeline, but there's no real path to saying, oh, Serkinov is a quitter. Every time Serkinov lost, he's been clearly knocked out of his senses, other than this time. So I think, yeah, and Glover, this so heavy on top, it might look like quitting, but clearly Black was quit too. But I don't know. So that's the only time you can say potentially quit. The other times he's been knocked senseless. So it's not a case of Serkinov has ever been a proven quitter or a guy that as soon as he gets tired, he just quits. He might get tired, it might at times, but you never see the guy that's like hanging the towel. So yeah, outside the Glover fight, so Glover fight was quit. Just about everybody Glover submitted as quit, and that's not the case. Glover is a very high level BJJ player, very big, very heavy on top. Probably just like your spine about to snap just by the man taking your back. So the man's big, heavy, and knows what he's doing. So it's not quitting. And I'm pretty sure if somebody put you in that position, probably even like a little girl put him in that position, that man probably tap. So I don't be calling nobody quitter unless it's a proven path to quitting. But that's not the case. But anywho, I just feel like it wasn't really no much intel that said Thurman win. But I guess maybe. But Turkinov did not look his best, and he did have those little skinny legs at middleweight. Like he still had some of the up top body, but going to middleweight, he completely lost his butt, his legs, all downward. Like below the belt line, this turned into a flyweight, but up top it looked like a UFC no UFC 3. Yeah, you know how their bodies, but it be all built big T-Rex arms, and like I don't know, the gaming models for a lot of these people, they be like big heads, long torsos, wide body, built like Stipe Miocic, and skinny little legs. So that's how they be built on that the UFC game. Like I don't know why all the models look like that, but I guess maybe it helps the game mechanics. But yeah, that's how he look at middleweight, like a UFC 3, UFC 2 model. But yeah, that's that. But yeah, nothing really going forward. And going forward, I can't really be high on Thurman. I have to like good for him, good win, but can't say it's replicatable. People he gonna beat low level grapplers in a grappling match. I can't see any level striker, him really beat any level striker unless he submits the striker or something. But I'll strike anybody. Striking still not the best. Yeah, striking still not the best. Grappling's all right. Can't really bank on anything. So like, I definitely see William Thurman, depending on how like really in most cases, if I had to bet, I feel like it's 80% chance he's gonna lose the next fight. Serkinov should leave the UFC, or maybe go back to light heavyweight. Matter of fact, he should get cut at this point. Get cut, reevaluated. But I feel like his best plan should be to go back up because middleweight clearly is not his weight class. It's not his weight. Like he thought he was gonna go down and have the size and technical advantage, well, really size advantage. But all it ended up with him just losing some of his legs and the lower body very good, important in grappling, and probably give him a bigger cardio show because at first he never really was a person that necessarily had bad cardio until like he dropped the middleweight. He did have phenomenal cardio, but he did have really like bad. I don't think his cardio is bad now, but I feel like all things considered, every single one of his stats were better at light heavyweight than at middleweight. I feel like you're draining, you're spending more time trying to cut to a lower weight class. You already probably heavily muscled, and then you try to spend this much time going down to middleweight. Like you're very lean muscle. It's not like you got a gut on you. You got some slobby arm, a slobby leg, slobby meat X somewhere on your body just sitting there. You are very lean, very toned, big, and your optimal weight class. And then you try to go down just because you could, but then you lost your legs. Now you spending more time cutting weight, and it's just not a smart move. I guess the biggest thing, like he was older and not at his optimum weight class, but still, Wes Thurman had never been proven to be a finisher. And Circle that most of it, like really, most of his losses outside like maybe one or two, really one, the Glover fight, were by knockout. And Thurman striking ain't nothing. Don't got no great fight IQ, don't got no great striking, don't got nothing. So Saminsky or Cirkunov, I feel like was overall the better grappler, but not on the night. Thurman was the better man on the night, got a submission win, and that's that. Like can't really write nothing about it. similar situation, I would pick the same exact fighter. In most cases, they will win, in my opinion. But maybe age-wise, that's probably the biggest thing. I feel like age, and not often when you're often weight class. So when you're not your often weight, you can lose to fighters that are less than you. And when you get older, another thing in momentum, but not a. I wouldn't say it would be a bad pick to pick Thurman, or is it named Thurman or Thurman? But I don't know. It was not a bad pick to pick Thurman. It was a very close fight. Now I'm not trying to say it was otherwise like it was old lock pick. It was definitely not a lock pick for Serkinov, and I definitely was not super high on Serkinov, but I thought he had enough to beat Thurman. And I feel like he did, but found that submission, got it done. But it is what it is. So that's really the video right there. Because what else do I got to say? Serkinov cut, Thurman likely lose the next fight. So already started saving some money, put it on whoever Thurman fighting next, likely. Unless they just give him some entry level can that has no grappling. Other than that, put your money on whoever he's fighting next. And yeah, that's the video. But then Bobby Green versus Makhachev. Oh, that's another video where that's another issue where I can say where I went wrong. And also, prior to that, one thing I forgot to start the video off with, I forgot to post my full card prediction. Well, I didn't forget it. I just didn't have enough time to post my full card prediction. I was so busy with other things, and that's the first time I missed a full card prediction, or that type of style of prediction video, which my channel started off on basically, or at least my UFC prediction started off on basically, since I've really started this channel. So that's a real big miss. That's a really big mistake. Outside the actual card, but that's a really big mistake personally with my channel. That's a big mistake. Because I always made it a thing to stay consistent and never miss, and I missed. So big mistake, and this is a clear showing that things are all organized in the personal life right now. But yeah, that's some little little tidbit right there. And then main event, Makhachev versus Green. It should have been clear stoppage for Makhachev prediction, because one, Bobby Green's coming on short notice, and two, those Dagestan, that whole Khabib cult and group, you need to really train for these guys. It's not a case of you coming on short notice. So you coming on short notice, that's one thing. That's bad in general. And then you're going in there with a killer, and those guys you need full focus for. Yes, Green's slick and this and all and that, but he had to afford to grapple the level of of Makhachev or Khabib or those guys. And he's coming on short notice, fighting a guy who really had no tools or weapons for him. So it was not like the hardest training camp to train for Nasrat Haqparast. And he's going in with a whole different level of beast. So it's a big step up. You going from the kiddie pool to like the 20-foot deep pool. Like you going from ankle level water to water well above you. Like it's a big jump. And 5 rounds is very long. Maybe 3 rounds would have been a better bet decision, but nonetheless, 1 round was all that was needed. But I feel like 3 rounds a decision would have been a better bet. But I think it was a plus money bet to bet finish for Makhachev, and that was plus 340 or something. So that was crazy. The fact that it's a 5 round fight. He got plenty of rounds. He going in there with a guy coming in on short notice. Yes, he just fought recently, but coming in on short notice, and yeah, going in there and jumping way out of his depth. So stoppage should have been the easy bet, and that should have been easy money right there. But I wasn't fully there. I was on vacation making those picks, and yeah, it wasn't the best pick, but yeah, nonetheless, move on to next, and just capitalize next time around. And I feel like Makhachev and a lot of these other fighters will be good money, especially this next card. There's a lot of fighters on there I feel like are just straight up locks, and I'll get into that. But that's the video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.